Today in art, we're going to make a bird. You can use markers, or you can use crayons, or you can use a combination of both, markers and crayons. I recommend that you start drawing your bird with a pencil, and then we'll outline everything with a black Sharpie. There are 8 directions for drawing your bird. Step number 1, 2, 3, and 4, you might want to do a pencil, and then you might want to do all the rest of the details in Sharpie. That's your choice. Step number 1, you're going to draw the head and the back of the bird. So I'm going to start near the top of my paper. I'm going to draw a head, then I'm going to draw the back of the bird. Step number 2, you're going to finish the head and then draw the bottom of the bird, add a beak, eyes, and a wing. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to go up to the tail of the bird. I'm going to add a beak, and I'm going to add an eye, and then I'm going to add a wing. Step number 3, I'm going to draw 2 feet, a straight line and a letter V, another straight line and a letter V. Step number 4, I'm going to draw some head feathers. You can draw as many lines as you would like. There are 4 in this example, and then little circles at the end. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to put some circles at the end. I'm going to take my black Sharpie and I'm going to outline everything that I have drawn with a black Sharpie. After you outline with a black Sharpie, you can take your eraser and erase all of your pencil lines. I'm going to put a little shine in the eye. The rest of the details are pretty simple. If you want to draw everything with pencil first and then outline everything, you can do that. Or you can do it like this and draw the difficult parts with your pencil first and then draw the easier parts with your marker. If you want to put a line down the middle of the beak, you can add a line down the middle of the beak. I'm going to take an eraser and I'm going to erase all these pencil lines because I have a lot of pencil lines showing on my picture, and I definitely don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that your artwork is nice and neat. You want to take your time and always do your best work. You don't want to rush, and you don't want to be sloppy. Step number 5, you're going to add some design. So step number 5, I drew some circles. Step number 6, I added some flowers. If you don't want to have flowers in yours and you want to have a different shape or a different design, you're more than welcome. Maybe you want to draw hearts instead. But I'm going to draw flowers just like the directions. So I'm going to draw some circles in the background of my white paper around my bird. Just going to randomly put some polka dots. Not a lot, just a few. Step number 6, I'm going to add the flower petals around the flowers. So I'm going to start near the center and I'm just going to make a letter U shape, and I'm going to continue that shape all the way around the circle that I drew. This is just a nice way to add some detail to the background. I'm going to draw all the way around so that my flower petals finish exactly where I started. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some little swirls and some designs around the edge. So I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm just going to make a curly line like this. Looks kind of like a letter S. I'm going to make a swirl. I'm going to extend that swirl and make an S shape. You can also just draw some swirls like this if this is too difficult for you. You can use your imagination. I'm going to fill up some more spaces with just some circles. Oh, I see I forgot a flower right here. We're just filling up space in the background to add detail. after you have done all of your drawing, make sure everything is outlined in black marker, and then make sure you write your name on your paper. Every time you do your art project, you want to put your teacher's initial with a circle around it right after you write your name. You can write your name in any of the four corners or across the bottom in the center or across the top in the center, just like I did. Next thing you're going to do is add color. If you look at this example right here, the whole background is colored blue. In this example with the yellow bird, there's so much detail that I left the background white. If you look at these pictures, you'll see each one has a border around the side. So I'm going to choose a color. I'm going to choose pink. I'm going to take the edge of my marker, and I'm going to hold the flat edge down, and I am going to trace a border. I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to trace a border on this side. I'm going to turn my paper upside down. I'm going to trace another border. If you want to make these borders wider or thicker, you could add another line. That's up to you to decide. Okay, now I'm ready to add some color. I'm going to make my birds yellow. So I'm going to look for a yellow marker. And I'm going to color my whole bird in yellow. I'm going to outline around the eyes. I'm going to outline around my bird so that I can stay inside of the lines. It's important that you stay inside of your lines. You want to color nice and neat. You want to color everything completely so that you don't have any white paper showing. If you have white paper showing in the space that you're coloring, if I have white paper showing where my bird is yellow, that's going to make my artwork look messy. And I want you to take your time. I want to take my time. And I want to make sure that my artwork is nice and neat. I'm not scribbling. I want to make sure that your environment where you're working, whether it's the art room or your classroom, or if you're ever doing artwork at home, that it's nice and quiet without distractions. So just whispering quietly to the people that you are with so that everybody can focus and concentrate. Please be respectful and make sure that you're doing that when you're doing your artwork. Quiet inside whispering voices, or don't talk at all so that you can focus on your artwork. Make sure you snap your markers shut. Don't want the ink to dry out. I'm going to make the beak orange. I'm going to add a little bit of detail to my bird, and just like this example, I really like the orange polka dots. You can make your bird striped like this one, or you could make some other designs. So I'm just going to take my orange marker. If you use a light color marker, like if you had light pink or light purple, and you colored your bird with a light color, you can layer markers by using a darker color on top. You could do the same thing with crayons if you wanted to do that with crayons. So I'm going to have a yellow bird with orange polka dots. Maybe I'll put an orange polka dot in the center of the head feathers. I'm going to take my orange marker and I'm going to outline my feet. You could just leave them black if you wanted to, but I'm going to add a little bit of color to mine. Maybe I'm going to take my orange marker and outline my bird's wing just like that. I like the way that looks. I could do the same thing to these head feathers, but I'm going to leave them. I'm going to choose some green. I'm going to outline my swirls. You can't really color those in. If you have different colors of markers, different shades of green, that might look nice, or you could use different colors, like different shades of purple for your swirls. You can stick to the same color scheme or use a lot of different colors. It's up to you. Use your imagination. Be creative. That's the great thing about art, is you can use your own ideas, and everybody's ideas are good. There's no wrong answer when you're doing your artwork. I'm going to use some pink for my flowers. I'm going to outline, and then I'm going to color inside so that I can stay in my lines. I'm going to finish coloring my flowers. I think for the background, I could leave my background white because I have so much going on. Or maybe I could take a crayon, a light color crayon, and color the whole background in with a light color crayon. I like the combination of crayons and markers. They look nice together. If you're doing this at home and you want to paint, you could paint. But today we're going to use crayons and markers for our first art project. Make sure that when you're coloring in a shape, you don't have any white paper showing through. And make sure that you're working quietly so you and everybody around you can focus and concentrate and do their best work. Okay, I have just one more flower to color in, and then I have some polka dots. I think I'll color my polka dots in pink also. A few random pink polka dots. I think that'll stick with my color scheme that I have. I think I got them all. I'm going to use another green marker that I have. I have a small green marker, and I'm going to fill in some more of this space with some random polka dots. You could do more swirls, or you could just do some straight lines for a pattern. Just fill in some space. You can fill in some space without having to color the whole background in and leaving a little bit of white paper. When you're all done with your project, you can just raise your hand and I will come and collect it from you. Double check and make sure that you've colored everything in. Double check and make sure your name is on your paper with your teacher's initial. I hope you had fun making a bird with me today. Thanks for being awesome in art. Bye.